Welcome back to my Tech Stack learning channel. Hope you all are doing really great, and also you would have watched the series of Node.js tutorial which I am doing over there. So this particular series is all mainly about the tips and tricks of Node.js to deliver the quality code and clean code. Okay. If you didn't have watched the first tip, I will be putting it in the description box. Please go ahead and watch. That is related to the uh, we need to always use async and await to maintain the cleaner code. Okay. So now in this session, I am going to explain about the second tip, that is using environment variables. Okay. If you like my session, please do like, subscribe to my channel. So let's get started with a note of why we need to use the environment variable. Okay. Uh, so uh, as you can see here, the environment variables is mainly used to keep sensitive informations like API keys out from our code base, right? So that is the main use of ENVs. So why to use it, right? So first thing is separation of configuration and code. So it's always good to store these configurations into a separate file or a separate section so that it don't get mixed up with the code base. Okay, so like API keys, database credentials, any port numbers, always outside the code we have to place it. So this actually separates the sensitive information from your code base, and which makes your code more secure and flexible enough. Okay, and second one is easy environment management. So here what happens is we have a package called .env package, which actually loads the environment variables from the env file to a process.env, which helps us to manage this environment specific settings easily. And it is also easy to install these modules and use it. Okay. The next one is enhanced security. So basically, as I said, it's avoiding hard coding, right? It's always good not to hard code anything. So using environment variables prevents this information, sensitive information like this being hard coded in your source code, which will actually reduce the risk of exposure of your code base, right? And also it helps us to maintain the security over there. Now last one is flexibility and portability. So easily switch between different environments by changing the .env file or using the different .env files for production, development, testing, etc. And the same code base can be deployed in different environments so that we don't have to maintain different code base for each environment. So these are the reasons why we need to use the env files. Okay, so now let's see how we can configure this .env, how do we install it, and how we can create env files, and how we can access the variables. Okay, so here I'm going to create a before we start, first we need to do is we need to install a node module. Okay, so let me do that. npm installed .env. Okay, so once this is installed, we have this .env package available with us. So let's try to create one env file before we start with the code. So what I'll do is I'll create .env. Okay, and I'm going to create one variable called API key. Okay, and you can just place XYZ ABC. Okay. Um, this is your environment variable which you have set it up. Okay, so now let's create a file called this is the second tip which I'm explaining here. So I'll just name it accordingly so that it's easy for us to refer. Okay, so now I've created a JS file. So let me just first what we have to do is we have to require or import the .env, right? So what we will do, require of .env. Okay, so even though we have this, first we have to do is from that particular method we have to just pull the config method. Okay, so config method is basically whatever the .env we have in our folders, it will load those env file into the process.env by default. So that is why we are using .config. Okay, so once we have the config uh, uh, once we have the config loaded, right, the next thing is you just have to access the uh, API key. Okay, so what I'll do is here API key equal to process. The process is a key component from the Node.js where it will allow you to access these env variables and other details like this, right? So the config and different CPU usage, everything can be accessed with this process. Okay, for us now it is env. So I'm going to access those env. You can see it is being populated. So I'll have to just mention what is the key name, what I have configured in the a.env file. Okay, now let me try to print this console.log. Then I'll just print API key. Okay, so let's try to run this. So node. Okay, you can see my env variable, this has been fetched from the .env and it has got printed here. Okay, this is about the how we can access the env variables from the .env section. Okay. Okay, so now I hope you all have a good clarity on how to use this .env and what is the need of being using this .env, just to ensure that the code we deliver is good and also uh, it's not redundant, right? So as we know, this is one of the best practice which we have to always follow when we deliver the quality code to ensure the security and to avoid the environment overrides. Okay. Okay, so that's all about this particular session. In the next section, I'll be coming up with another tip which we have to consider when we do the Node.js development. And if you like my video, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and provide your questions in the comment. I would be happy to answer your questions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next series. Thank you all.